Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I have here an article that will exemplify hypocrisy at its best. And you will realize what I'm talking about when I'm going to start mentioning sanctions. And the sanctions started with the United States pushing everyone around and telling you gotta impose sanctions. And then after that, they had to, because the big boss said so. But then it seems like United States asked everybody else to impose sanctions on commodities that they are very much dependent on in relation to Russia. But United States avoided to impose sanctions on Russia on commodities it depends on from Russia. Now this is, and we know that, we knew this, and they knew that. Nobody said anything for what, 6 months? Yeah, unbelievable. Let's see what we are dealing with. This article comes from oilprice.com from September 4th, 2022. And it says in the title, can the US kick its reliance on Russian uranium? Oh my God, uranium. What's going on with that? So, back in early March, shortly after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, President Biden signed an executive order to ban the import of Russian oil, liquefied natural gas, and coal to the United States. Yay! Although the ban, together with EU sanctions, have been blamed for skyrocketing global energy prices, US refiners are none the worse for wear since Russia supplied just 3% of US crude oil imports. So they said, you know what, we're going to impose sanctions on Russia, but you guys depend on Russian oil much more than we do, which only 3%. Well, it's true that probably our market is, I don't know, actually the market in the United States is, the demand is higher in the United States than in Europe, but I'm just saying, it's just that 3% here, you guys more, but let's impose it. All right, let's go to the next thing here. It says, however, the partners were quick to point out that one notable export was left off of the list, uranium. So uranium was out. The US is far more reliant on Russian uranium and imported about 14% of its uranium and 28% of all enriched services from Russia in 2021, while the figures for the European Union were 20% and 26% for imports and enrichment services respectively. So, again, US is far more reliant on Russian uranium and imported about 14% of its all uranium and 28% of its enrichment services from Russia. So 14% the uranium comes from Russia and 28% of enrichment services from Russia in 2021, while the figures in European Union were 20 versus 14 in United States percent and 26 versus 28 in United States for imports and enrichment services. Russia is home to one of the world's largest uranium resources with an estimated 486,000 tons of uranium, the equivalent of 8% of global supply. Woohoo! Recently, what do we have here? Many experts, however, contend that banning Russian uranium is easier said than done thanks to Russia's status as the world's leading uranium enrichment complex accounting for almost half the global capacity, and that is something that cannot be easily replaced. So let's say tomorrow Russia says, no more uranium for you. You done. What do you think happens? So who has aces in the sleeve? European Union weasels or United States boss? Or maybe Russia? All right. The US currently has one operational plant managed by its UK, Netherlands, Germany owners. US cannot have its own. Disgraceful. Owners that can produce less than a third of its annual domestic needs. Further, The country currently has no plans to develop or find sufficient enrichment capacity to become domestically self-sufficient in the future, because we got these weasels over there that they talk about global blah blah blah, and then therefore no, we're going to use wind and cow farts and the sun and who the hell knows what. In contrast, we have China. Remember, China is not with the big boss. China is getting together with Russia, with India, Brazil, and other countries to create a second option, like Nike and Adidas, or Pepsi and Coke. Thank you very much. In contrast, China's nuclear corporation is China Nuclear Corporation is working to double its capacity to meet the needs of China's rapidly growing civilian nuclear reactor fleet, so that by 2030, China plans to have nearly 1/3 of global capacity and doesn't care about the global warming, even though you see the signature of the Paris environment blah 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 agreements. Thank you very much. Global warming Paris Accords. So this is what happens right here, and you tell me who's got who by the balls, or by because Europe has no balls. Europe, if you put your hand over there, is just flat like this over there. That's it, Europe. United States has balls, all right? Just to make sure about that. The problem is the ones who lead this country are, okay, from now on this is going to be no balls, okay? It's going to be balls, it's going to balls, and it's going to be dinglingy, like, you know, in between. You don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, it's something that should be, but it's nothing though. No testosterone, anything. So, anything, anyway over there. So this is it. What are they going to do with uranium? United States, 15%, and you buy what, 28% from Russia, the services, the massage services. And Europe is even deeper doo-doo. Remember, France, I think, has about 80 or 90% atomic energy, generated energy, right? So I wonder where that comes from. It's going to be China or Russia, either or. Oh my God. And these guys are talking about fighting Russia. And it's much more to find. If you look at the nickel, for instance, or not only nickel, but lithium, for the batteries, for this clean energy, battery-operated cars, you know where that comes from? Well, it doesn't come from United States or Europe. Europe, remember? Yeah, it's not coming from there. Look much towards east, okay, and you're gonna find out you don't, and south, you don't have it here. I mean, unless you start digging for it, but that's gonna harm the environment, so we can't do that. That's not an option. All right, so who's got who by the balls? And remember, the process of producing and manufacturing the lithium for the batteries, it's very costly, and you need kind of like a fossil fuel energy to be able to do that, and there's a lot of pollution as well. And then you got the cars. Cars are made of what? Of steel, right? Or what? You're gonna make it out of fiberglass? How do you make all that? With wind and solar, and we're gonna start blowing every minute, every morning, 10 minutes to create some wind for energy? Really? I mean, such a scheme, and they gonna get us. Own nothing and be happy and be hurt in the same time and pretend you're happy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.